Good evening. I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier this afternoon, the University of Nebraska announced the 6 individuals in the 2023 University of Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame. This class includes Lori Endicott of volleyball, Tommie Frazier of football, Emily Parsons of women's gym, Tali Thompson of wrestling, Brittany Timko of soccer, and retired men's and women's track and field coach Gary Pepin. Coming up, Tommie Frazier will join us on the show to reflect on the award and his time spent as quarterback for the University of Nebraska. On Tuesday evening, Nebraska rifle captain Cecilia Ozzie won the USA Shooting Women's Small Bore National Championship in Fort Moore, Georgia. Ozzie was also an NCAA national champion this year in the small bore event and set many school records in her 2023 campaign. Cecilia will look to build on her remarkable achievements in the 2023-24 season at Nebraska. The NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships went live today down in Austin, Texas. The decathlon kicked off today, and Till Steinforth is off to an impressive start. He added 725 points with a 45.9 throw in the shot put. Steinforth currently sits in third place overall heading into the high jump. Earlier today, up in Omaha, Husker golfer Lindsey Thiel captured the first state women's match play title of her career with a 2-1 win in the 100th Nebraska Women's Match Play Championship. Thiel gave the Huskers a state women's match play champion for the third consecutive year and joins her older sister Hannah, also a three-year letter winner as a Husker golfer, as a Nebraska Women's Match Play champion. Next up for Husker women's golf is the Nebraska Amateur Championships in Fremont, July 31st to August 2nd. After squaring up the series in Game 2, Jimmy Butler and the Heat will look to go out in front of the Nuggets in Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. Miami has the home court for tonight's matchup with the tip-off set for 7:30 on ABC. And finally, college softball has narrowed the field down to just 2 teams remaining. Third-ranked Florida State and number 1 Oklahoma face off for Game 1 of the WCWS Championship tonight at 7 Central. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now get ready for a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
3 eligible to the near side. Back to throw is Morgan. Stepping up, gets hit, drop. Oh, he got drilled at the 18-yard line. Ty Robinson's second sack of the year. I think he took his shoes off with that hit. Simon gets the shotgun snap. Huskers send a corner blitz. Simon steps, throws. Pass intercepted. Picked off by Miles Farmer.
Go,
to the 35, to the 30. Rope tied down to the 27-yard line. Miles Farmer's 4th career INT.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to another edition of Sports Nightly. So glad you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with us here on a Wednesday night. We got a heck of a show coming your way tonight, and Cole mentioned it in the ticker. Today, Nebraska announced their 2023 Hall of Fame class, headlined by the great Tommie Frazier. I left you last night with saying we were going to have one of your all-time favorites on the program tonight, and I'm going to come through. Tommie's going to join us here in a little bit to talk about his honor. In a lot of people's minds, Tommie Frazier is the greatest Husker football player of all time. A lot of you, I don't believe that, and Tommie's going to join us to talk about the honor. They're going to honor this class at a football weekend in the fall. It should be a lot of fun, so looking forward to talking to him. And Amy Williams is going to stop by as they're knee-deep into their off-season. They have their new players on campus. They've got some practice time coming up before they head off to Europe later this summer for their foreign trip. So looking forward to hearing and catching up with Coach Williams. I don't think, Jessica, we've had Coach Williams on since her last Coach's Radio show, which might have been at the end of February. It's been a long time.
Well, that's what I told her. I was like, it's been a while since we've had you in studio. So, yeah.
She found it okay.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. And there was just so much to talk to her about. I mean, so many things, the staff changes, the new players that are coming in, a couple of them have moved in. Alexis Markowski trying out for Team USA, Allison Widener's progress. That was a funny tidbit on having to, I know you're shocked on this, but they're having to pull back the reins on Allison Widener.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, shocking, right? But Lots of things that we get into with Coach Williams. So
Very good.
That'll be a fun conversation.
That'll be coming up in hour number 2 of the program. Big news out of the league office this afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 on BTN, they're going to unveil the 2024 and 2025 Big Ten football schedules. We've been waiting on this for some time. This will be the first time that you're going to see UCLA and USC on the schedules. And I think a lot of Husker fans, Jessica, are kind of preparing for the fact that one, if not both, are going to be on the schedule because we're the closest one geographically to the Los Angeles area. I can't wait to see that. I wouldn't mind a trip to LA in November when it's cold here. Get us to California.
So at this point, they're saying it's just going to be you're going to be playing whoever in the conference. There's not going to be, they're getting away from the
divisions.
divisions.
I'm pretty sure are going bye-bye.
No pods, anything like that. So it's just going to be a free-for-all of who you play.
That's right.
How do you go about even scheduling that? You draw it out of the hat?
Well, and we talked to Trev about this a couple of times in his monthly show. They've been working on this for about 4 or 5 months to try to get this put together because logistically, you're moving a big group when you take a football team to different spots. And so to get everything kind of organized and lined up, that's why it's coming out. This seems like it's early, but it's really not. That's only 14, 15 months away from when that season will get going.
Well, I've told you that, when I went out to UCLA with Oklahoma when I was working for that team, it was really sad, the attendance. And their attendance is really sad. It continues to be. And they were even good this year. It still just was not. You can see an empty stadium a lot of times. So I say all that to say, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to make sure to, at least in this first year, to make sure they're getting teams that travel well so that it looks good on those new TV contracts when they put them on primetime or whatever it might be, to make sure that that stadium has more bodies in it than what it would be if it was just UCLA and say, I don't know, Maryland doesn't travel really well, right?
Right. Now, USC's more of the kingpin out there. They're going to match up Ohio State with them or Michigan with them or Penn State. But then I think
the drama, yeah.
Right, you're going to do that. So who's going to get on that schedule next year? Who comes off Nebraska's schedule? Because I think you're right. I think divisions are definitely going to go away. That's what Adam Rittenberg told us last night on the program. He thinks all divisions and all leagues are going away. So no more of just playing Purdue and Illinois and Minnesota Northwestern every year. You're going to sprinkle them in, but you're not going to play them every single year. I'm excited to see what this looks like.
And again, kind of what the conversation that we were having last night, maybe, again, making more of a move towards an overall more consistent approach to how you schedule with all of it so that it's more fair of when you go into seeding these playoffs and picking playoff teams. And so if there's another Power 5 conference or, a super conference that's about to be established with the Big 12 or wherever it might be, ACC if they add any more. I don't know. Is the ACC going to add any more?
They're trying to survive, too. They're like the Pac-12 trying to hang on right now.
Well, and then I saw where they were going to have incentives for their money. That's kind of wild.
If you do well, you get more of the coin.
Instead of just like spreading it out to everybody. Yep. But I think this is probably more of a move. Okay, this is what the SEC's doing. This is what we're going to do as well.
So tomorrow, 3:30 BTN, we are told that Trev Alberts wants to come and join us tomorrow night for a few minutes and talk about how this impacts Nebraska moving forward. So we'll look forward to that tomorrow. I cannot wait.
I think that they will try to keep some of those rivalries.
Yeah, you have to. Some of them. So does Nebraska and Iowa stay?
I think so. And I think because that's a close proximity to both schools.
It's a rivalry
game. So you keep one of those kind of closer distance ones. Would you rather keep Iowa or Minnesota?
Iowa.
Yeah.
And I think most Husker fans would go Iowa is the one you want to hang on to.
Okay, Minnesota or Wisconsin?
I don't know that it really matters. I think most Husker fans would probably lean Wisconsin, but Wisconsin's got longtime rivalries with Minnesota and Iowa. You can't keep them all, so I think we probably get discarded from the Wisconsin standpoint more than we would throw them off of our rivalry chart. So you got to keep Ohio State, Michigan. You got to keep that. You got to keep Indiana and Purdue. Those
Michigan State,
rivals.
Michigan.
You got to keep those two. So there's certain ones you have to hang on to, and I'm sure that think about how many renditions they probably had to go through. I'm sure they went through thousands of runs of schedule to try to get everybody happy, and then they send it to the school, and the school goes, "Nope, I don't like this one or that one," and then it comes back. I'm sure it's just been back and forth for months.
And what's so hard about scheduling in advance like that is that you don't know how good or bad a team will be. I mean, you could change really quickly. So, again, you're looking at maybe a team getting kind of a little bit of an unfair draw with the teams that they have on their schedule compared to the others. And that's always been, I understand that it takes a long time to book these conference games in advance or these non-conference games. Sometimes it's 10 years in the making, and you just don't know what you're signing up for.
Right.
You at the time, you're like, oh, this is going to be a marquee, really good opponent. And then you just don't know how things change with each individual program. And even 2 years, that's kind of a long time to sit and wait and make sure that you're not loading up one team, giving somebody else a cakewalk. To me, you gotta, if you're gonna do it this way, I think you have to, because with the divisions, there's no choice, right? You play who you play in your division. But with this, you have to be really conscientious of making sure that teams don't get favorable schedules over other teams.
And don't you think you also want, because we're going to 16, don't you think you also want, if you're at a school 4 years, you want that student athlete to play everybody in the league at least once?
Yeah.
So maybe two years, it kind of mirrors, and then you flip it and goes to maybe not all 9 of your games flip, because maybe you hang on to a rivalry game, but 8 of your games flip. And so then over a 4-year period of time, you pick off pretty much everybody in the league.
Yeah, I think probably student athletes
would agree.
Would enjoy that, especially some of those, like the shoe, or if you got a chance to plan a whiteout.
People coming here.
Penn State, or yes, I was saying more so for our student athletes, for Nebraska student athletes, and where they would maybe want to play. And the Rose Bowl, even though it's not, as rowdy, it's still an iconic place to play, but a chance to play there, and USC. And I would think that, because to me, if I was a student athlete and I never got to play in California, I'd be pretty upset about that.
Right, yeah. All right, again, Trev, I think we're going to have tomorrow night. I can't wait to get his thoughts on this, and I want yours now, Jessica. Gene Smith, the longtime AD at Ohio State. Before that, Gene was at Arizona State, and we remember him from the days that he was the athletic director at Iowa State. He was meeting with a group of Ohio State backers either yesterday or today. My timeline's off a little bit on this, but he said he told his boosters that they have told the Big Ten Conference, we will not play night games at home past the first weekend of November. And that he's told the conference that. Don't schedule any night games in the shoe after the first Saturday of the month of November. We don't want it. Now, Ohio State's probably going to stay really good. I don't think we see them dropping off at all. So to me, they're kind of, and again, the Big Ten loves that big noon kickoff. So that's a big prime game for us. But I think Trev Alberts is on the other side of that. He said, you want us to play at night, we'll play at night.
We'll fill that role. We'll fill that spot. Yeah. That's part of what you signed up for. And where's the communication lacking between the presidents who all knew what was coming in this deal? And it's kind of what I said. When we know how this package is coming together, you know that NBC is getting a primetime game. You're not just they're just not going to put games on in November. What do you expect? And especially when it's the primetime game,
right.
It's going to be one of the marquee matchups. If you're one of the marquee teams, then you should, to me, it's common sense that you're going to have a chance that you're going to be, I don't care what was in place before. If you're bringing on NBC for that 7:30 game, then there's a chance that you're going to be playing at 7:30 in November.
Now, he's okay to play on the road. He just doesn't want him having the shoe.
Why?
I think his fans want to be next to the fire and the hot chocolate. I don't
It's not
know.
that cold in Ohio.
Right?
It's one of the warmer places, right?
The Bengals and the Browns play night games, right, in the NFL? It's just crazy. I don't get the logic, but they can do them.
Are they going to go on the road for the last 3 games?
Well, they can play at home, but they have to be day games.
Well, I know, but if they're the primetime game for 3 weeks in a row, they're going to be on the road for the last 3 weeks.
And as good as they've been, you would think that they're going to be a hot commodity come late in the season. So that's really interesting. You're going to be dashing in and out tonight as well. You're going to try to grab some football interviews for us as that in-house media session continues to go. So before you roll out of here for this hour, we do have Game 1 of the Women's College World Series. It goes at 7 o'clock tonight, Oklahoma, Florida State. Seminoles have any shot in this thing? What do you think?
Man, I don't know.
They've only lost 8 or 9 games all year. I think they're the 3. Yeah, they're the 3
Beth
seed.
Mowens, who's calling the game, had a terrific stat about how good and aggressive Florida State is on the bases and how good Oklahoma's catcher is at throwing base runners out. So that might be a matchup to watch for, because when Florida State gets on the base, when they get anybody on, they are very, very aggressive at trying to get around and get in scoring position. And so will they be able to keep taking advantage of that against a catcher that's been really good against guarding against that? I would imagine she's got to go with Jordy Ball, Oklahoma. Maybe she has Storako pitched at all? I don't think she has. They went with Nicole May last game.
I have not seen her.
Maybe they give
No,
her.
I haven't seen every game of theirs in the series. I've not seen.
Maybe they
everyone.
give her a shot, but I mean, it's just hard to argue it.
I think it's ball tonight in game one.
And then maybe she goes to somebody else. Sometimes Coach Gasso does that, where she will maybe make some tweaks to that pitching lineup. If you win game one, then that's where you kind of start figuring things out. But I mean, Florida State's a good team. They've kind of slid under the radar a little bit. It was all Tennessee and then some of the other teams, but I don't know if many people had given Florida State much of a chance to sneak in there, and I don't think they're going to go in there scared. Look, Florida State's a team that's also competed for national titles in recent years.
Well, I think they lost to the Sooners 2 years ago in the championship game. 2 or 3 years ago.
Was it 2021?
I think it was 21. That it was these two years ago in the final. So
and then they won it a few years. I don't know. My recollection of being able to my memory of knowing who won what when. I'm like, what happened this year? And that's all I can really remember.
You know, you and me both. Somebody the other day asked me, Greg, who made the Final Four on the men's side? I'm like, oh. Literally it took me 4 or 5 minutes to figure it out. It was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of all 4 teams that were there. I knew UConn won it, but
it all runs together for me.
Yeah, it does.
So,
well, that starts at 7. Oklahoma's only got 1 loss all year. I think Florida State has 8 or 9. So this ought to be pretty cool to see this game going tonight. Next hour, we'll talk a little NBA as Game 3 of that gets going next hour. All right, folks, if you have some thoughts about everything, 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, which is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for. Lots to talk about, including the man of the night. Tommie Frazier is going to join us next.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. UNL is the only Big Ten university in Nebraska, part of the only conference with an academic alliance. Being in the Big Ten means superior academics, unique student opportunities, better resources, and world-class research programs. With 72% of undergraduate students receiving scholarships or financial aid, UNL offers a Big Ten education at great value.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. That's why we make trucks like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight, and counting. Made for performance and capability, made to play hard and work smart, on and off-road. That's because they're built Ford tough. So be future ready with Ford F-Series, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
For a delicious dinner on the go that will please the whole family, get Hai Chai at Hy-Vee. Right now, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22 during the month of June. Get 4 one-pint entrees, 2 pints of rice or lo mein, and 8 egg rolls or crab rangoon. That's right, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22, now through the end of June. Dine in or carry out the crowd-pleasing, award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese today. Some restrictions may apply.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
For a delicious dinner on the go that will please the whole family, get Hai Chai at Hy-Vee. Right now, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22 during the month of June. Get 4 one-pint entrees, 2 pints of rice or lo mein, and 8 egg rolls or crab rangoon. That's right, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22, now through the end of June. Dine in or carry out the crowd-pleasing, award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese today. Some restrictions may apply.
Husker fans, the 2023 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support celebrating the 100th year of Memorial Stadium. Purchase a special Husker football Through These Gates mini plan. For only $100, you will be at the Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech games, plus your choice of 1 home Big Ten game, 3 games for only $100. Tickets available while supplies last. Purchase your Through These Gates mini plan today. For more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. I said on the show late in the program the other night that I was going to talk to one of the all-time great Huskers, and I'm not lying because I got him here tonight on the program. The newest member of the Hall of Fame class for the Cornhuskers announced today, Tommie Frazier. Hello, my friend. Congratulations. What's this feel like?
Well, thank you for having me on. And it's a great honor, being recognized by a university where you went out there and you gave it your all on the athletic field, and to be honored in this way, it's a great thrill for me, and not only for me but my family.
How'd you find out? Who called you?
Actually, Keith Zimmerman and Trev Albers gave me a call last week and let me know that it was going to happen, and I told them that it was about time it had happened. I was actually kidding with them, but they said no, it was way too long, and it needed to happen. It should have happened sooner.
Tommie, let's reminisce a little bit. Take me back to how a young guy from the state of Florida ends up in Lincoln, Nebraska. Take me back through that whole recruiting process and how you became a Cornhusker.
Well, it was a tough process. It was a long process, and I don't know if a lot of people know that I was actually ready to cancel my official visit to the University of Nebraska when I was being recruited. But my mother, Kevin Steele, was the guy who was the major recruiter. He called my mother and told her what was going on. And my mother basically told me that, you gave someone your word. You committed to this trip. It's one more trip. Go see it. If you don't like it, don't mean you have to go there. And so I came on the visit and actually fell in love with the place. And that's the reason why I came here.
Had you seen much Husker football? I mean, back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was only a handful of games on TV. Nebraska was one of those teams that got on there quite a bit. Were you familiar with the kind of offense you'd be walking into?
Yeah, I was familiar with it. My high school coach was kind of a mastermind when it comes to offenses, and so he looked at a whole bunch of stuff to where we ran some option, we ran some play action stuff, we ran some 5-step drop stuff. So he knowing that Coach Osborne was kind of like the guru of the option game. He followed Coach Osborne from that aspect of things. So and of course watching him on Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving on national broadcast, and then of course always seeing him going down to Florida and losing in the Orange Bowl. You kind of got an idea what style of offense they were running.
Tommie, you played as a freshman, and that didn't happen much with Coach Osborne. Take me back to that time. When did he tell you were going to start that game? I think it was in Ames against Iowa State. What was that week like?
No, actually, it was. I didn't know I was going to start until the night before the game. It was actually in Missouri.
We're
in Columbia, Missouri, And I was practicing with the ones quite a bit that week, but Mike Grant, who was the starter, was also practicing, but he was having some back issues. And no one really knew if he was going to be able to play on that Saturday. And the night before the game is when the Coach Osborne announced I was going to be the starter.
Nervous?
Of course. You always dream of playing the big level and playing early in your career, but when it actually happens, of course, and nerves sunk in. You just want to make sure that you knew everything that the coaches had taught you, but once you get to start playing, then everything, the football comes back to you, and you don't worry about anything.
I've heard players say that. Maybe you can confirm that you're nervous and that kind of first time to do that, but the first time you get hit kind of wakes you. You're like, okay, yeah, this is real. I got to go.
Yeah, and then that's the way. That's what's with anything. Any sport you play. With basketball, you go out there, you make the first jump shot, then you're like, okay, I can do this. In baseball, you get your first hit, then you're like, okay, this is not so hard. And football is the exact same way. Once you take that first hit, then you realize that, hey, these guys don't hit any harder than what I just came from out of high school. So this is just football. Let's go out and play the game.
Again, visiting with Tommie Frazier, named today as part of the member of the 2023 Nebraska Hall of Fame class, considered by a lot of Husker fans as the greatest Cornhusker football player of all time. And Tommie, you talked about Coach Steele was the primary recruiter for you, but he's on the other side of the ball when you got to Lincoln. Was it Coach Osborne that you spent the most time with then once you got on campus? Because he really kind of was your position coach, wasn't he?
Well, actually, I still spent a lot of time with Coach Gill, but actually, Turner Gill was kind of the guy that was my go-to guy. They had just hired him right after I signed to come in, so he was kind of the guy that was always in the meeting rooms with Coach Osborne, going over the offensive system and going over the play calls. But then actually in practice, Turner was the one that was actually doing all the coaching of the quarterbacks on the field.
How much did you learn from Turner?
Well, I learned a lot from Turner. He was one of the guys that, he actually came here, played in the system, knew what it was all about. He did it. He's also a guy from out of the state of Nebraska, came here, and so he helped me a lot on the field as well as off the field.
All right, let's go back through some really good seasons. I mean, you guys hardly lost games. I think your record as a starter was like 33-3, and just an amazing record. How good were those teams, Tommie?
They were good, but they were all good in different ways. When you look at those teams, and neither one of those teams were identical. There was always something that changed the dynamic of those teams. If you look at freshman year, we're heavily dominated by senior guys with Will Shields. And then you go by sophomore year, then we had the dominant offensive line. We had a pretty good defense. But then when you go to junior years, when the confidence of all the players, everything kind of fell into place. But then you go back when I missed 7 games that year, so that put a cog in the wheel there. But Brooks stepped up and came in and kept the team rolling. But then 95 team, it was just there was nothing that no one's going to tell us that's not the greatest college football team in college football ever.
Johnny Rogers is on line 1. We'll get to him later, though, about that comment right there. Tommie, let's go to that last game of your college career. Did you guys have a sense you could do that to Florida, or you just mashed those guys. What was it like leading up to that game?
We were confident. You hear everything about Florida, the fun and gun, and Steve Spurrier, high rate passing offense. But we were very confident that we knew that we had the team that's capable to go out there and beat anyone on any given day. We knew that we had the offense firepower. And what shocked most people was that they didn't realize how great our defense was. Because they really didn't have to really be great during the season because the offense put up so many points. But they showed people in that game that, hey, Nebraska was just not known for their offense, but they are also a great defense. And so I think the tone that they set early on in the game was what actually helped the offense, because we showed them that, hey, they could slow them down. Now we just get rolling in. We knew that Florida wasn't going to do much against our defense.
Tommie, you and I have talked about this in the past, about practices at Nebraska. You all say it was so intense when the ones would go against the ones and the trash talking back and forth, right. And Charlie McBride getting in everybody's face. Let our audience know a little bit about what that was like going through those practices against the Black Shirts.
Well, I think for the offense, it was probably the toughest opponent we faced all year. And people laugh when I say that, but they were that good. And plus, they knew anytime we was checking and calling different plays, they knew where the play was going because they knew our offense so well. And so by us being able to move the ball against them, which was tough, but us just moving the ball a little bit against them, we knew that on Saturdays or whenever we played the game that there was no offense, no defense out there that's going to be able to stop us because they didn't know what we were going to do. Our defense knew what we were going to do, and we still had some success against them.
You and Charlie good? You guys okay? Friendly?
Oh yes. Every time I see Charlie, we have a little banter. But I love Charlie. I love his demeanor. I love everything about Charlie because of the way he prepared the defense. You know, he was a fiery type of guy. I was a fiery type of guy. And when you have two competitive guys right there, how can you not love each other?
He was hard on guys, Tommie. Could he coach in this day and age? I mean, that kind of coaching, that rough, tough coaching, a lot of people kind of don't like that anymore.
I don't think so. I think the players are made different. I think the players aren't mentally tough to handle tough situations. And when you try to coach someone hard, you know, you see them going to the little, what I call it, turtle shells, where they put their head in the shell and they close up, to where I don't think many kids could really play for Charlie McBride. And you're just seeing kids are starting to, Nick Saban's one of those type of guys, and then the players are starting to leave him because he's a tough coach.
Getting busy with Tommie Frazier, this member of the Nebraska Hall of Fame, one of the all-time great Cornhuskers, and a Floridian that has now made Nebraska his home. Tommie, it wasn't always a bed of roses for you during your career. You had some injury situations. How tough was that? I mean, and there were people that were worried about you ever playing or walking again when you were playing, had those blood clots. How hard was that for you to get through?
Well, it was tough. You know, being so far away from home, being the first time that I ever had to miss any football games due to any type of injury. Well, that length of games, and not having much family here, and I had my brother who was here, but he's recently passed 6 years ago, was kind of the only thing that really kept me going. But it was tough knowing I couldn't do the thing that I truly loved, and one of the reasons why I came to Nebraska.
And you've stayed. How about kind of laying down roots here in the Cornhusker state after your playing days?
Well, you know, when you have kids, and you try not to want to take them out of the environment, and Nebraska's where, me and my ex, we decided to come back up here, and the kids love it up here. I love it up here, but you know, I'm getting to the age now to where these winter months are getting to me, so it's getting close to me moving back down to the South.
Well, Tommie, again, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Long overdue. You are just one of the all-time favorites in this fan base, and I cannot wait. I'm not sure what day they're going to honor you during the fall, but I cannot wait for that day, and I can't wait for that big ovation for you inside the stadium.
Well, it's gonna be an exciting day, and hopefully with me, my presence being inside the stadium, other Hall of Famers, we can cheer Nebraska to a victory that day.
Congrats again, Tommie.
Thank you.
Oh, boy, what a treat. One of my favorite guys, and just I know for a lot of you, and still to this day, one of the great debates is how in the heck did he not win the Heisman in that 1995 season? I finished runner-up to Eddie George, and almost criminal that Tommie, because that game, that effort he put on against the Gators in that Fiesta Bowl was absolutely phenomenal. Tommie joined us on our Sports Alley Hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Folks, I want to hear from you. A Tommie Frazier story. Where would you rate Tommie Frazier among the all-time great Cornhuskers? Love to hear it. 402-413-2400. Call or text. We're back with that reaction coming up next.
Save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Mertz lifts the leg, back to throw, has some time, rolling out, steps, throws downfield. The pass is going to be intercepted. Malcolm Hartzog at the 45 to midfield.
Hey, Husker fans, tune in Friday for an encore presentation of Sports Nightly. In the 6 o'clock hour, we'll listen back to interviews with Fred Hoiberg, Kenzie Davis, and more. In the 7 o'clock hour, we'll take you back to conversations with Jazz Shelley and Amon Green. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Husker fans, you've got an opportunity to be a part of the 100th anniversary Memorial Stadium in 2023 by purchasing a Through These Gates mini plan. It's a 3-game ticket package. It is on sale now. It's $100 for a ticket for 3 games. It's the 2 non-conference home games, Northern Illinois on September 16th, Louisiana Tech on September 23rd, and then you get to pick one of the 5 Big Ten home games, Michigan, Northwestern, Purdue, Maryland, Iowa, to choose from. The seats will be located in the north and south end zones. Again, you can do it online, huskers.com/tickets. You can call the ticket office during normal business hours, or you can drop by and see the folks at the ticket office in person. They'd love to see you coming through that door there. Again, it is Through These Gates mini plan. They've sold between 2,000 and 3,000 of those already. So a pretty cool deal. I know for a lot of people, they just cannot get away and free to come to 7 home games. But 3, you can make it work into your schedule. You're only locked into 2 of them. You can get to pick the date that's best for you for that third one. Be a part of Matt Rural's first year as Husker head coach. 402-413-2400. How cool was that? Love to hear your thoughts. If you've got some comments about Tommie, either with a call at 402-413-2400 or with a text. Love the chat room tonight. Andy says he met Tommie twice. One when he was framing a house on a golf course in Omaha, and he looked over, and here came Tommie rolling up on a golf cart. He was screaming Tommie. Stopped working, made his boss mad to go over and shake Tommie's hand. That is really, really cool. Also, Ted said that he met Tommie when he came out to McCook and a Walmart there, and they had the line out the door and around the corner to meet the great Tommie Frazier. So really cool stuff there. You know, a lot of people just can remember watching Tommie. Yeah, we can all, right, visualize that run where he broke all those tackles against the Gators in the Fiesta Bowl. That's one of the most iconic plays in Husker history, is Tommie running through all those guys. That was just such an amazing moment, and just what a shellacking they gave Steve Spurrier's Gators that night in the desert. I think that's all a really, really high moment for a lot of us. Tom in Kansas said he made my high school years the best for a Kansas-born Husker fan. His game against Florida is the best run of all time. Tom, I don't know that I can argue that. I think you're probably on it. His resiliency through something so scary proves the type of man that he is. Love you, Tommie. From another Tommie, go Big Red. That's really cool. Brooksy said it was Charlie Ward, not Eddie George. No, Charlie Ward won the Heisman in 93. Eddie George won it in 95. Tommie was the runner-up in 94. And every time I go to Ohio State, I think about that. Not that Eddie George wasn't a really good player, but Tommie Frazier was an elite class of his own. And that 95 Husker team, and Tommie laid out the case for you, like the 71 Huskers would argue. And a lot of people think those might be the 2 best teams in college football history. I mean, they're one of them. But just go back and look at the dominating scores of that 95 team. And I just love the guys from that particular team talking about the battles they have with each other in practice, with great players on defense and then a great offense. And, you know, everybody will remember the shellacking of Florida because of all the points they put up. But everybody before that game was picking the Gators because they didn't think that the black shirts could stop the Gators. Well, they did, and they kept giving the ball to Tommie in that offense, and they chewed everybody up that night and led by 15. And what a special night that was to see. And I know a lot of Husker fans love going back and kind of reliving that game a little bit and seeing the Huskers just mop up the floor. Again, the rest of the class, and we're gonna pick these men and women off one by one over the coming days and weeks. Gary Pepin, the longtime track and field coach for the Cornhuskers, who retired last summer. Going to try. In fact, I think we may try to get Gary tomorrow night. A lot of people have reminisced today. I've seen on social media about Tolly Thompson, the great heavyweight wrestler for the Cornhuskers, won an NCAA championship. Lori Endicott was one of the first volleyball stars at Nebraska, 85 to 88. In the infancy of the program and starting to establish Nebraska as a dominant national power, Lori was terrific. Emily Parsons, amazing women's gymnast from 05 to 08. Multiple NCAA championships from Emily. And then Brittany Timko, who played for Canada in the couple of World Cups. She was fantastic. And I think she also was an Olympian for Canada and then on their World Cup teams. It's a pretty impressive class. And but I had a feeling a lot of you would really want to hear from Tommie tonight on the program. And just so gracious for him to give us some time to talk about all of that. So, again, if you got the memories for that, keep them coming. Love to talk to you about your thoughts about Tommie Frazier. Also, coming up top of the hour, you got the World Series continuing in Oklahoma City, Game 1 of that softball championship. Number 1, Oklahoma. Number 3, Florida State. Should be fun. You've got Game 3 of the NBA tonight. So, good night. Last night was kind of an empty night for sports because you didn't have college softball, college baseball going. You then didn't have an NBA Finals game. You didn't have a Stanley Cup game last night. So kind of an empty an empty game. So Stephen Bellevue says Tommie is in the top 2 of college quarterbacks that I've ever had the pleasure to watch, Vince Young being the other. That's pretty good company, and particularly those guys who were dual threat quarterbacks. Michael Vick I would throw in there as the ability, but Vince Young, you're right, Steve. He was a game changer, and maybe one of the best college football games I've ever seen was the FC Texas Rose Bowl for the championship game, and the Vince Young going against Leinart and Bush and that star-studded USC Trojan football team. That was pretty amazing stuff. In fact, there's been, and it came out a couple days ago, it might have came out earlier today, they put together the top 100 players of all time in college football. Tommie's right near the top, and there's a handful of Cornhuskers on that list as well. But Tommie was. I love Vince Young. Tommie was just an amazing football player, and so happy for him. And I did not see in the release today that they put out when they're going to honor them, which football game they're going to honor. They may still trying to be nailing that down. All right, 402-413-2400. Call, fire off a text. Don't do it while driving, though, right? Because our folks at NDOT say that you need to buckle up, put that phone down while you're driving. That's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
Husker fans, mark your calendar for Sunday morning, July 16th to join the Nebraska football team in the Race for a Cure Against Pediatric Brain Cancer. It's the 11th annual Nebraska Football Road Race. This year, all runners start and finish on Tom Osborne Field in Memorial Stadium. The final 69 yards will recreate the iconic 2013 ESPY Play of the Year when brain cancer patient Jack Hoffman scored a touchdown in the spring game. To register, go to huskers.com/road race. Sponsored by the home agency with support from the Lincoln Track Club.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Step up to the plate and hit a home run with your next vehicle at Woodhouse. We've got all the bases covered, from our family-friendly SUVs to our durable trucks to haul your gear. Plus, our team will treat you like an MVP and help find the vehicle that's right for you. Visit one of our 20 locations to score big on your next purchase. Or shop our selection of new and pre-owned vehicles online at woodhouse.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra. The perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. That's why we make trucks like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight, and counting. Made for performance and capability. Made to play hard and work smart, on and off-road. That's because they're built Ford tough. So be future ready with Ford F-Series, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealers, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe with you here on a Wednesday night. Going to hear from Amy Williams, Husker women's basketball coach, coming up in hour number 2. Can't wait to hear from her. We've not had Coach in studio since her last radio show, which I didn't look up on our grid, but it was either late February or the first week of March. And I want to say it was February because I think the women's tournament was the week before the men's, and that was the first week of March. So I know we didn't have a show after that. We didn't want to bother while they're in postseason play. So, so looking forward to having her. Lots to catch up with her. She's got a lot of newbies that are on campus getting ready for the upcoming season. And then the big news that they got right after the season ended with Jazz Shelley saying that she was going to come back for next year. We talked about this Hall of Fame class throughout the hour, and Gary Pepin, you look at his amazing career. Gary took over the women's track program as head coach in 1981 and was there through 2022. And how about some of the numbers for Gary Pepin? Won 3 team national championships, 73 conference titles. 73. Now think about it. Husker men won 1 in May. That was their first one in like 5 years. Gary won 73. He had 59 individual NCAA champions, 597 individual conference champs, 639 All-Americans. Gary Pepin coached in Nebraska. 639, 68 academic All-Americans. You see that big number, over 350 now, Nebraska academic All-Americans. 68 played for Gary Pepin. That's just amazing. It's just incredible. And I could do that with every one of these ones that are going into this thing. Talked about Tully Thompson, 3-time conference champion of the heavyweight division, won a national title in the NCAA in 1995, and then finished 3rd in 96-97. So 3 times he was on the medal stand as a wrestler in Nebraska. It just amazes me because this Hall of Fame started 7-8 years ago. Is that right? I can't remember what the first year. It was 15, I think, is when we started this thing. And they put 20 individuals in, and they got somebody from every sport. And then you thought, the further we get away from that initial class, the talent's going to drop off. You can't tell me that with this group. This is unbelievable, the names in this thing. I mean, it still is a who's who of Husker athletes. It's just so impressive, and just so glad we're able to bring Tommie to you tonight. But we'll work our way through this class in the coming weeks. All right, coming up next hour, Amy Williams is going to join us, talking about Husker women's basketball. I think they're still having trouble. Cole and I were trying to watch a little bit. The volleyball team is in action right now. But the last time I checked, the stream was still not working from their match, so I don't have an update on how they are doing. They beat that 21 and under national team from Brazil last night, and they're playing a team with some pros on it tonight. So this might even be a tougher test for them, but I don't know the stream. I just pulled it up again and still not working for me. Maybe I'm technically challenged, but I think it's been a problem getting that volleyball stream working tonight. So we'll see if we can effort an update on that. The NCAA Track and Field Championships, speaking of Gary Pepin, began today in Austin. The decathlon is underway. Till Steinforth, who won the decathlon for the Huskers at the Big Ten meet in Bloomington, Indiana, a couple weeks ago, is off to a great start. He had a wonderful long jump, which was the second event. They'll get through their 5 events today. We'll give you an update on that next hour as well. Wow, quick hour, fun hour. I'm still shaking from talking to Tommie Frazier. That's just a cool deal for me to be able to do that. Hope you enjoyed hearing from 15 earlier on in the hour. All right, don't go away. Come on back. We got another hour of Sports Nightly coming up. We'll be hearing from Amy Williams. She's next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Since 1993, Dakota Mac has offered fixed long-term ag real estate loans perfect for any stage of life. The rebellious 15-year loan, the here for laundry 20-year loan, and the 30-year loan who thinks they can tell you a thing or two about parenting. Whatever your needs, trust Dakota Mac with your legacy.
Hi, it's Nick Reno from Dakota Mac. Please call me at 308-380-7564 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Good evening. I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier this afternoon, the University of Nebraska announced the 6 individuals in the 2023 University of Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame. This class includes Lori Endicott of volleyball, Tommie Frazier of football, Emily Parsons of women's gym, Tolly Thompson of wrestling, Brittany Timko of soccer, and retired men's and women's track and field coach Gary Pepin. On Tuesday evening, Nebraska rifle captain Cecilia Ozzie won the USA Shooting Women's Small Bore National Championship in Fort Moore, Georgia. Ozzie was also an NCAA national champion this year in the small bore event and set many school records in her 2023 campaign. Cecilia will look to build on her remarkable achievements in the 2023-24 year as a senior at Nebraska. The NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships went live today down in Austin, Texas. The decathlon kicked off today, and Till Steinforth is off to an impressive start. He added 725 points with a 45.9 throw in the shot put just hours ago. Steinforth currently sits in third place overall heading into the high jump. Earlier today, up in Omaha, Husker golfer Lindsey Thiel captured the first state women's match play title of her career with a 2-1 win in the 100th Nebraska Women's Match Play Championship. Thiel gave the Huskers a state women's match play champion for the third consecutive year and joins her older sister Hannah, also a 3-year letter winner as a Husker golfer, as the Nebraska Women's Match Play champion. Next up for Huskers women's golf is the Nebraska Amateur Championship in Fremont, July 31st through August 2nd. After squaring the series in Game 2, Jimmy Butler and the Heat will look to go out in front of the Nuggets in Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. Miami has the home court for tonight's matchup with a tip-off set for 7:30 on ABC. And finally, college softball has narrowed the field down to just 2 teams remaining. Third-ranked Florida State and number 1 Oklahoma are set to face off in the WCWS Championship. Game 1 is just getting underway on ESPN. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
3 eligible to the near side. Back to throw is Morgan. Stepping up, gets hit, drop. Oh, he got drilled at the 18-yard line. Ty Robinson's second sack of the year. I think he took his shoes off with that hit. Simon gets the shotgun snap. Huskers send a corner blitz. Simon step throws. Pass intercepted. Picked off by Miles Farmer.
Go,
to the 35, to the 30. Riptide down to the 27-yard line. Miles Farmer's 4th career INT.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, hour number 2, Sports Out here on a Wednesday night. Going to hear from Amy Williams coming up here in a little bit. Cannot wait to catch up with the coach, see what's going on with that program. And again, it's been several months since we've been able to talk to her. Hour 1 again, great to hear from Tommie Frazier. And then John in Omaha texted in during the top of the hour break, says congratulations to Coach Pepin on the Hall of Fame. I guess I was kind of surprised that he wasn't already in there. They kind of wait, John, until the coaches retired. Coach Straub, the longtime bowling coach, they waited to put him in after he retired. And he said, if I didn't believe in your integrity, Greg, I would have almost guessed that you were making up some of those numbers for Gary Pepin. They are unbelievable. How many conference championships, Gary? 73 conference championships. That's ridiculous.
It's kind of one of those things, you know, you've heard it before with Hall of Fame nods. You just, the moment they retire, you know that they're going in. Like, this is one of those cases, right, that he's absolutely done enough that just retires and goes in. But I mean, we just talked to Angela last night. He was her coach.
Yep.
We've heard so many of the really laying the foundation of women's track and field, that he was instrumental in that and bringing those athletes in and helping develop that program. Nebraska women's track and field was really dominant. And I mean, yeah, just the things that he's done for so long. It just is so impressive when a coach can have that consistent longevity of success. And it's not like it's a revenue sport that you're getting a lot of money to work with either.
He has to take a little bit of pride in what's going on right now, because a lot of these athletes he recruited and brought here.
Yeah.
Coach Sinclair's doing an amazing job taking the mantle and going with it. But I'm sure Gary's smiling seeing them win that Big Ten title on the men's side a couple weeks ago. That was really cool. So, John, thanks for reaching out to us as well. All right, NBA Game 3 tonight. You're kind of on the Heat side of things. You like them tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about tonight, but I think it's going to be a little tougher series than people might have thought after maybe once they saw the matchup. But they've got some issues for Denver, and if Denver doesn't come out and play better, I mean, Miami's got some guys in there that are real tough to deal with. Jimmy Butler is just unbelievable, and then some of the other guys that have been stepping up when they need to. And so I think the Heat are pretty fun, and they've got 4 undrafted guys that are making an impact for them right now. So
great story.
And when is Hero coming back? Tyler Hero?
I don't know if they're going to get him back for the series.
Well, originally the talk was that it might be Sunday.
I know, but I don't think he's playing again tonight. Jimmy Buckets is good. He can take over games. But both the Nuggets were really uncharacteristically flat the other night. I think they come out smoking tonight. But
I think if they win tonight, the Heat win tomorrow. And I think they split again.
And is it go 2-3-2 in the finals? Do they play 3 in Miami? And they used to, and I don't know if they now go 2-2-1-1-1.
The Eastern Conference are that 2-2-1-1-1.
I don't know when they go to the finals because I'm knocking my microphone around here. What do they do? Because it travels more when you go across the country for the championship because you got a West playing an East. But I'll look that up here in the time. Before we get to Coach Williams, Simeon Welcher, does that name ring a bell?
Yeah, it does.
He has gotten out of his commitment and scholarship at North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
I saw that yesterday. He was trying to get out of it, and so I guess he got out of it.
So, got to be a chance, right? I mean, he really looked at Nebraska hard because of his brother CJ being here.
Yeah, and I know CJ really likes it here, and
we have scholarships, Jessica.
There's 2 scholarships open, which is why they left these open for a chance like this. You could get a steal now, but. There's no penalty, right?
No, because he hasn't played at Carolina.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know if with the.
I don't think so.
Because with the transfer portal, you had to be in by May, the date in May, or else, unless you're a grad transfer, then you have to sit out a year. But that's where I don't know where high school freshmen stand in that deal.
I don't either, and they didn't go through a coaching change, so he had committed to the current North Carolina staff. I'll check. I'll make some calls tomorrow with our compliance people, but. That pop, you showed me it yesterday. We were in a meeting. You showed me that he was on the open market, and man,
and we saw this with Bryce and Trey, and how many times have we seen this with brothers? That just a chance. I saw it with the Griffin brothers at Oklahoma.
Yeah,
it's why Blake could have gone and been the first round draft pick, and after his freshman year, he stayed to play with his brother. You just don't always get that kind of opportunity, especially at the D1 level. We've seen it with the Andrews sisters in softball. How many sisters or brothers get to say that they can do that? And then it's just something special. And you never know if you can get to do it again. So it probably lingers in the back of the minds a little bit like, oh, I could play with my brother for a couple of years. But then not to mention, it's probably a pretty good fit with the style of play. And, if he's an offensive guy and likes to score a bunch.
I think I should probably call Coach Hoiberg and alert him to that this is out there.
Yes, maybe you should break him the news too.
You think he needs my help on that? Probably not. Greg, we got this.
And it was really interesting, too, when Trey was saying that he stayed out of it with Bryce. He didn't want to. He told him what he wanted to hear, but he did not influence him. He didn't want that. He didn't want to be that. So we're just speculating at this point. But if for some reason he comes here, it'll be interesting to hear what CJ has to say, but there's just something about when a younger brother looks up so much to an older brother.
Absolutely.
And wanting to be and follow in his footsteps and play with them and getting that opportunity. Because also with high school, sometimes there's not a lot of opportunity if you're that far apart. You might be on the JV team, freshman team. You might not play as much when the older brother's a senior, so.
A little bit different twist to that, but the same kind of sibling dynamic. You're going to jump into that tomorrow. You're going to talk to Josiah Alec tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Who Becca, his younger sister, is a great volleyball player for John Cook. So little bit different dynamic. But for Josiah, who grew up in Lincoln and played at Lincoln North Star, to come back and kind of be the Sam Griesel of this team. And I'm sure Becca was pushed. Becca would push him. Or, you said Trey wasn't pushing Bryce. Becca, I bet, pushed him.
To come back?
To come back.
Well, yeah, I mean, and again, another fascinating conversation. You'd like to know what those conversations sounded like, because for him, it too, whether she was here or not, he probably would have loved the opportunity to come back home.
Sure.
So, but yeah, it's always interesting to hear the kind of the approaches, because probably some siblings are like, come on, come play with me. Let's do this together. And then some don't want to push and want them to make their own decision, whatever is right for them.
It's interesting. We've got a lot of that on campus. The Anglums. Garrett plays baseball and his sister plays on the soccer team. You talked to a couple of the soccer girls yesterday back from Iceland. So it's just kind of funny. We have a handful of those kind of things on campus right now. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. It's always awesome.
Kind of cool. All right, our Sports Sunday Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. We're back. Jessica's back to talk to the head coach, Amy Williams, next.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. 26 Husker students presented research findings on nuclear deterrence to a panel of U.S. Strategic Command officials at STRATCOM headquarters in Bellevue. The student-led presentation was the culmination of a semester of STRATCOM-guided research and the latest in a years-long partnership between STRATCOM and the National Security Studies program at Nebraska.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
It's time again for some Nebraska farm facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Cornerstone Bank proudly serves Nebraska with a full line of loan and deposit products. Cornerstone is large enough to handle all of your financial needs while offering the personal service you deserve and the local decision-making you expect from a family-owned community bank. Stop in or call one of the Cornerstone Bank locations near you to discover the Cornerstone difference. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Loan subject to approval.
For a delicious dinner on the go that will please the whole family, get Hai Chai at Hy-Vee. Right now, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22 during the month of June. Get 4 one-pint entrees, 2 pints of rice or lo mein, and 8 egg rolls or crab rangoon. That's right, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22, now through the end of June. Dine in or carry out the crowd-pleasing, award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese today. Some restrictions may apply.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Husker fans, the 2023 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support celebrating the 100th year of Memorial Stadium. Purchase a special Husker football Through These Gates mini plan. For only $100, you will be at the Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech games, plus your choice of one home Big Ten game. 3 games for only $100. Tickets available while supplies last. Purchase your Through These Gates mini plan today. For more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Natalie Kerr in Lincoln, Michael Reeves in Omaha, or Julie Null in Plattsmouth.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to Sports Nightly, I'm Jessica Coody, and just because it's off season does not mean it is not a very, very busy time for Husker women's basketball. They got new players moving in, recruiting, new coaching staff additions. So here to catch us up on all the latest news, head coach Amy Williams. A little chat. We haven't seen you in here in a while, so thanks for joining us.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. It's good to see you, Jess.
How is the summer going?
It's going fantastic. We're just busy. As you mentioned, we just completed our team camp, which is one of 3 camps that we'll have this month, and had a outstanding turnout. A lot of great teams from several different states come in and be competitive, and so that was really, really fun, and just that came right on the heels of a weekend where we moved a couple of our new freshmen on campus, and just getting geared up for summer workouts and preparation for a really fun trip at the end of the summer.
You know, we've heard Coach Rule and his staff talk about the importance of camps. How important are camps for you guys in your program and really in college athletics and seeing that young talent?
Yeah, I mean, camps are really, really an incredible opportunity for a lot of reasons. It's like you get to have a lot of talented kids on campus and get a chance to get a feel for the university and your campus as a whole, your program, but also it's just an outstanding time to have our players really involved in being able to connect to the community and the younger players that are in our area. And I'm a firm believer as they're teaching the skills that we're asking them to perform, that just kind of ingrains things just further into their head when they're also having to kind of impart that knowledge to the next generation. And so I love watching our team, be very actively involved as camp counselors and connecting themselves even just further to the community and the young people, but the game itself.
Well, got a list of things I want to get to with you. Let's start with your staff, because you haven't really had to make much coaching changes throughout your career. Tom Cayley's been with you for so long. Yeah. I know a really important part of your staff and meant a lot to you and this entire staff. First of all, his contributions to what you've been able to do in your career.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Tom is just part of my family at this point. I just really feel a strong connection for everything we've gone through together, and just the loyalty that he's shown to Nebraska women's basketball and to me and my family, and just the impact that I've watched him have on so many young women that have come through our program. Just it's really hard to put into words. And so obviously I'm going to miss him just immensely, but so excited about the future and the things that he's really been called to do in his life. And so retiring from coaching, I kind of knew it was probably on the horizon at some point. And at this point, just an opportunity for him to really spread his wings and go into ministry full time and do kind of his real true calling, and puts us in a position where we've been able to, welcome some new blood into our coaching staff. But most certainly we're excited that Tom will be kind of home basing out of Lincoln still, and that we'll be able to still connect to him. And he's just an incredible, incredible person.
So Julian Acebe is the addition, and he's been on the show. We got so many compliments. His energy is just infectious. You could tell he's so appreciative and excited for the opportunity. How did it work out where you thought he would be a great fit?
Yeah, well, and Julian and I have known each other for a long time in this coaching business, and he's been at the University of Colorado and Montana State, and just throughout kind of interactions on the road, recruiting, and watching kind of the impact he's having on the programs that he's been a part of, just in the recruiting and just the energy that he brings. And then when he went to the University of Florida and got some experience in the SEC and was just really proving how he can recruit kind of at that highest level. And so, he and I had always had opportunities to just interact and mingle out on the road and throughout the coaching circles, and I just was really impressed with that. You can't be around Julian without feeling that energy that he brings to the equation, and so just a perfect fit. His wife is from Nebraska. I think he's always made it pretty clear that this would be an awesome place where he'd love to be able to bring his wife and his two sons back to close to family and back to the Huskers. And so we're really excited that it worked out for him and his career at this time to be back and helping our program.
When you go through a coaching change like that, what are some of the things you look for? You brought in Jess Keller last year. Is it a case-by-case basis where whatever need is met, or is it something that you look for when you're bringing on a new assistant?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point in my head coaching career, I'm very, very familiar with where my strengths are and where my blind spots are maybe as a head coach, and I really am wanting to bring in people on our coaching staff that can help complement me and the rest of our coaching staff, and just be strong where I'm weak maybe, and bring things to the table that I know that we really need to be able to raise the bar for our program. And so that's it's different every time. I mean, it certainly was different 1 year ago when we were hiring Jess Keller, the things that we felt like really needed to be in place, and now the things that we were really looking for when we hired Julian. Just different things, but because they complement the rest of the staff, and it just works well.
What does recruiting look like for you guys right now during this time?
So we're right now we're in a quiet period, meaning we cannot go off campus and recruit at all during this time. We do have one weekend in the month of June. This is new this summer, where we are allowed to go to scholastic-only events to recruit. And so there are some high school coaches associations who are sponsoring big tournaments, like maybe in their state or in a 5-state area, and bringing in some, but they have to play with their high school team. It has to be a scholastic-based event for us as Division I coaches to go and evaluate, just for one weekend here coming up. So we're gearing up for that, and make sure that we can try to spread the four of us across the country and cover as much of those events as we possibly can. And but other than that, our recruiting right now is taking place on campus, and that's bringing kids to campus on unofficial visits, on official visits, and really giving them a clear picture of what Nebraska has to offer and what our program, get them an opportunity to meet our team and our coaching staff, and get a great feel for the program.
How do you guys go about recruiting from year to year, the transfer portal versus high school talent? And is that also kind of a need by basis for what your specific team is that year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it changes. It's just ever changing, and you have to be able to adjust to the needs of your program. And I think the transfer portal has become a bigger factor in recruiting, but we will always continue to try to build our program with solid high school players, that solid foundation of kids who want to be a part of wearing Huskers across their chest, and that take pride in that. And that's what we're looking to do, is to build the program that way, and then be able to to really adjust then based on what our team and program's needs are and fill in with the right transfer pieces.
Well, on that note, Darian White comes in from Montana State. Heck of an addition there, a very versatile guard. Tell us about her.
Yeah, we're really excited about Darian because she, I think, plays at a pace that is something that we really desire. And it sounds easy to push pace, to be a guard that pushes pace, but it's not always that easy to actually implement. And I think she's been able to do that consistently for 4 years in her career at Montana State. I think with the graduation of Sam Hybe, who's been such an incredible staple in our program over the last 5 years, that we really needed some kind of depth in that area, and so we're very excited. She also has been, Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Sky Conference, a first-team All-Conference. She's proven to be able to score. She's proven to be able to be kind of, pesky on the defensive side, and I think just that well-rounded player and talent. We're excited to be adding her into our program and culture, and excited to see what she can do in a Husker uniform.
Visiting with head coach Amy Williams of Nebraska women's basketball. Tell us about your freshmen. A couple of them are officially here in Lincoln.
Yes. Yeah, we have 2 of our 3 freshmen here, and just super excited right now, kind of getting them to go through all of their physicals and medical clearances and get ready for summer workouts, which start for us on Sunday. And so we're looking forward to that. And Natalie Potts coming in after just an incredibly special high school career at Incarnate Word Academy, where they won the state championship this past year. It was their 100th consecutive win.
Wow.
And their high school program, they're not just, they're playing, they're going to tournaments in Louisville and Hawaii, and, they're playing, St. Mary's out of California, and, they're challenging themselves up against the best of the best. And so we love that she's a winner, and that she is competitive, and she gets more deflections than probably any kid I've ever recruited or coached. So I'm really excited about that. And we're excited she's here. And then Logan Nisley, who's 3-time Gatorade State Player of the Year in the state of North Dakota, and one of the best 3-point shooters that I've ever recruited, and just a really special shooter, and just gets her shot off fairly quickly, and really has confidence in that area, and we're very excited to get to work with her and have her representing Nebraska. And so just leaves one freshman, Jess, that we don't have on campus yet, and we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for our final freshman, because she'll be, Jess Petrie, our newest Australian, will be playing with Team Australia in the U19 World Championships in Madrid, Spain, here later this summer in July. And so we're so excited for her to do that, and we'll wait to get her with us when we go to Greece.
That's all right, right? Hey, playing for the national team, that's a good excuse, right?
Yeah, that's a great excuse, yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but my math serves me right. I think you guys are now up to, with the 2 freshmen that are both players of the year, you're up to 5 now, I think. You have the Darian was Idaho Player of the Year, Alexis Markowski, Nebraska Player of the Year, right? And then Maggie Mendelson, and then the 2 freshmen, Missouri and North Dakota. How about that?
That's some pretty impressive stuff, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty good lineup right there.
Yeah.
Well, Alexis Markowski, speaking of those national teams, got a chance to go to the under-21 Team USA trials. How big of an experience is that for her?
Yeah, just an incredible experience for her to be one of 22 people that were invited to go to Colorado Springs and do that training camp, and I'm just so proud of her. I think that particular team was really, really heavy in the 4s and 5 spots, but to be able to go there and to, she's like, Coach, this is the most amazing experience. I just feel like I learned so much, and I know exactly what I want to work on for the rest of the summer to prepare for the upcoming season. So what a great experience for her, and just really proud of her.
All right, and the other big news earlier this spring, Jazz Shelley coming back, broke the internet, really broke Twitter when she decided that What does that mean to you that she wanted to come back and utilize that year and said she wasn't finished here yet? Had unfinished business here at Nebraska?
Yeah, I'm obviously we are incredibly excited about having her back. You know, our first team All Big Ten player and the first one that we've had since I've been coaching here. So, so to have a player of that caliber, but also somebody with her leadership. To be back in the mix, to be able to kind of have Logan Nisley and players like that to really be able to kind of learn just how she approaches training and how she, you know, goes about things, I think is going to be really important for our program. And, you know, Jazz and I spent a lot of time talking about how, you know, it might be kind of the easy choice to take that pro contract and go, you know, but that, you know, it might be a little harder to do, but just knowing how much she loves being a Husker and how much the fan support has meant to her, and just being able to play in an arena where there's 15,000 people that are excited to cheer for her and be a part of it. And I think, you know, she knows that we've got more in us and that we're capable of taking this program a little further, and she really is on a mission to help us do that. And I share that same mission with her, so I'm incredibly excited to be on the same page with her moving forward.
The run that this team went on in the WNIT, how much have you seen that fuel, you know, missing out on the NCAA tournament, but then finding a way to win a few games in the tournament? How much have you seen that motivate this team here in this offseason?
Yeah, I think I'm just really pleased. You know, we talk all the time about, you know, not letting certain missteps or failures like define you, and being able to learn from that and be able to move forward and find ways to move towards success through disappointment. And so I think obviously our group, you know, the expectation was for us to be playing in the NCAA tournament. And sometimes when that doesn't happen and you come up against that disappointment, it can be really tough to find motivation. But these young ladies are not that way. They're fully buying into the fact that, okay, we'll show you, we're going to bounce back, and to come back and have a couple great wins in that WNIT tournament, and some of the experiences we learned even after we lost Sam Hybe in that second round game and did not have her, no Sam, no Allison, heading down to Kansas to play on their home court. You know, it's a tough task, but we learned some things about us. And this upcoming season, you know, we're going to be going back to Kansas for another game and return game. And so I think from our standpoint, we're hopeful that, you know, that really taught us some things that we can lean into to go get a win this time.
How is Allison Widener's rehab going? Yeah. I'm sure you probably have to tell her to pull back.
That's
some,
right. That's right, Jessica. It's with Allison, it's a really good problem to have, but she's doing so well with her rehab, almost too well in some senses. Like she's reached certain targets that they put and benchmarks that they put in a typical rehab a lot faster than most do, and you know, Allison, she always likes to be first. So she won a lot of gold medals when she ran track in high school, and she likes to be first. She likes to get to these goals first, and so now it's kind of really a game of trying to pull back those reins and just making sure that she gives her knee that proper time to heal. But we're very excited about the direction, the work that she's putting in to get back out there on the team and do what she loves to do and be a leader for us. And she is hungry, to say the least. And so at this point, we feel thrilled with where she's at, and just very, very encouraged about her ability to be back out there with us real soon.
Well, it's the summer of foreign trips for Husker athletics, men's basketball, volleyball, soccer, and you guys are headed to Greece. Yeah. How big is that opportunity for this team? How much does a team grow when you get this kind of experience?
Yeah, I think it's really important, and particularly in our case with a couple of new coaches, and then several new players with our transfer, and 3 new freshmen that will be with us on that trip, to really kind of ingrain themselves and kind of just really get to know each other and spend some awesome like shared experiences to kickstart and have your program a little bit more ready at the beginning of the season, because we're going to be challenging ourselves no doubt, in our non-conference schedule, and we're going to be heading into a Big Ten schedule that is always incredibly intense and competitive. And so to give us a little kickstart on some of the team bonding and chemistry and things that come away from a trip like that trip to Greece, I'm really excited for it, and we're looking forward to benefiting from that.
And the numbers came out. I don't have them on me, but again, I think 30% increase in attendance again this year once the season was all over and they crunched those numbers. Is that support to continue to grow for your program? What does that mean to you?
Isn't it crazy? Just when you think, like, there's no way that Husker Nation will be able to surprise me more, they do. And, we talked about really wanting to have a sellout game, and it wasn't quite, but it was the largest crowd ever in a Nebraska women's basketball history. And
women's sport, I believe.
Yeah, and just really, really impressive the way that people have came out to support. And I think part of it is, we have a really good product out there, and we've got young women who are going to lay it on the line and fight hard for Nebraska, and they're going to compete and work hard and do things the right way. And I think that relates well to Nebraska fans, and they've really responded. And I am just so thrilled. I think, Husker fans are never going to know how much it means when we can talk to recruits and talk about having 15,000 people at games and being top 15 in the nation again in attendance, and all the things that they're really helping us do so well.
Last thing I got for you, just what is the key for a team in the summer throughout this process of the next 6 weeks or so before you guys can, or a couple months before you can get back into off-season, preseason workouts, all that? How does the team develop into where they need to be to do something special once the season comes around?
Yeah, and I think every team is a little bit different in what I feel like is going to be like a successful summer, and particularly for this team, we've really put a heavy emphasis on just individual player development, and we've hammered it hard in the postseason. And some teams, when you're preparing even for a foreign trip, you might go a little more team concept a little earlier to try to prepare for that. But I think with this team, we're still going to keep a very heavy focus on just their the player development, and then continuing to work hard on just that chemistry and leadership and all the things that we know are going to be important and pay off for us in February and March.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. Yeah. Great to see you back in the studio.
Yes. Thanks so much. It's so fun and easy to talk to you all the time, Jess. So.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Have fun in Greece. I mean, you think you can get me on that trip?
Yeah, come on. Hey, come on. I got a big suitcase. So.
I'll squeeze in there.
Okay.
All right. Head coach Amy Williams spending some time with us here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back with more coming up right after this.
For a delicious dinner on the go that will please the whole family, get Hai Chai at Hy-Vee. Right now, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for $4, just $22 during the month of June. Get 4 one-pint entrees, 2 pints of rice or lo mein, and 8 egg rolls or crab rangoon. That's right, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for $4, just $22, now through the end of June. Dine in or carry out the crowd-pleasing, award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese today. Some restrictions may apply.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Woodhouse is your premier luxury car dealer with exclusive Omaha Metro dealerships and 7 top brands to choose from, where craftsmanship, performance, and stunning design are at the forefront. Your next luxury vehicle will immerse you in an environment unlike any other. Plus, get your buying experience to match the premium quality of your vehicle with available nationwide driveway delivery, and our knowledgeable sales teams will exceed every expectation. Browse our selection of new and pre-owned luxury and performance vehicles online at woodhouse.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red. Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you. It's a Wednesday night. Great stuff. A lot of information. You packed a lot in there with Coach Williams.
I told you I did. There was a lot to talk to her about. And like you said, we hadn't had her on in a while, and there's a lot of things that we had not heard her perspective on. We had Julian Asibe on the show pretty close to right after he got here and was trying to get settled in, but hadn't heard Amy's perspective on her end of why she felt like he'd be a good fit. And so that and the newcomers and all of that. So there's a ton to get to with her.
Good stuff right there. So appreciate her coming and being a part of
How
the
about
program.
that? Did you know that there's 5 now state players, high school state players of the year on this team?
On this team. Yeah. That's really good.
I don't even think she knew that because she's there calculating it with me.
North Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska. Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. And 5 different states at that.
Speaking of impressive, and I threw some pretty impressive numbers out about Gary Pepin. How about this? And by the way, Husker volleyball did win tonight, and they're done playing. They go 5-0 in Brazil. They won in 5 sets tonight. How about this? PrepVolleyball.com released their final rankings for the 2023 class. This is unbelievable, Jessica. The #1 player coming out of high school into college this year is Harper Murray, the girl from Ann Arbor. The #4 player is Bergen Riley, the setter. The number 6 player in the country, Andy Jackson, is the middle blocker, and Lanny Choiboy is the number 8 player. Nebraska has 4 of the top 8 players coming out of high school for John Cook's team.
I mean, that's per the norm, isn't it?
That's unbelievable. No, that's more than norm. That's unbelievable.
Well, because that one the Krause, Rodriguez,
Batenhorst
was the number 1 overall.
Yep.
Krause was top 10.
Was Rodriguez in the top?
I don't know if she was in the top 10 or not. But I mean, I think she was, and the setter was.
Or Kennedy Orr.
Kennedy Orr.
Yeah.
She's the number 1 setter in the country that year.
I mean, that's just unbelievable. That came out today, prep volleyball, so holy cow. And then they go 5-0 in Brazil, and they beat it. This was kind of a semi-pro team. These are some of their pro players played tonight. Huskers dropped sets 2 and 3, but won sets 4 and 5. So they're done. They're going to sightsee. I think they're also going to go to kind of a boot camp type thing and do some intense workouts before they come home next week.
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, if you follow along any of the social media accounts, and that's what I chatted with the soccer gals about last night is, yeah, they're doing fun things, but it's sandwiched in between playing a game or working out. They weren't just playing games. Like, they were training out there. Like, they had practices. And so there probably might only be 2 full days that you don't have something that you're doing with your sport, whether that be, because that's another great thing is you're allowed, because when you travel, you're allowed those practices.
Yeah.
That you don't always get to get full-on team practices. And so you utilize that as much as you can while you're out there.
I wonder how the food's been in Iceland and Brazil.
Well, I
be.
asked last night, and they said in Iceland the best thing was fish and chips.
Yeah.
Which is kind of not surprising, because when I went to Dublin, Ireland, I thought that was one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
It's just such a different, it's so fresh and tastes different. So, but
Brazil cuisine, I don't know. I don't know what kind of cuisine they have. I'll put Cole in charge of finding that out.
But to see you're not a world-renowned connoisseur on the palate of food?
I have not been south of the equator. I've never been south of the middle part of the globe.
Oh.
I've been to Europe, but I haven't been south down in there. So
Mexico, though?
But that's not south of the equator. It's still north. And I've even been as far south as Belize and some of those places, but that's not clear down there.
Nope. I have not.
Chris in Grand Island said the NBA Finals is 2-2-1-1-1. So 2 games tonight, and the next game 4 is in Miami, and then they'll come back to Denver, and then go back down to Miami, and go back to Denver. So Miami up 14-12. They're still in a weather delay in Oklahoma City. They're hoping to start in about 30 minutes. That's too bad. I hope it clears. I hope once they start, they don't have to stop.
Yeah, they have. That's again kind of one of the things you sign up for playing out there, and even in Omaha too. I mean, you just kind of what happens, and you just have to roll with it. But yeah, you hope that for the sake of being able to just watch it continuously, that you don't have to stop. But it's happened a lot in Oklahoma where you've had to have. And in fact, it happened one year. Oklahoma, they were up and they went on a delay on Alabama. Alabama comes back. Long story short, totally derailed the momentum. Oklahoma ends up. They were up the first game. They won the first game. We're up in the second game. Alabama comes back to win the second game after the weather delay, and then wins game 3.
Wow.
So it was just like it was devastating. So yeah, they can change the momentum.
Sure
if you have to go in there and
absolutely. All right, 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap up tonight's show next.
Husker fans, mark your calendar for Sunday morning, July 16th to join the Nebraska football team in the race for a cure against pediatric brain cancer. It's the 11th annual Nebraska Football Road Race. This year, all runners start and finish on Tom Osborne Field in Memorial Stadium. The final 69 yards will recreate the iconic 2013 ESPY Play of the Year when brain cancer patient Jack Hoffman scored a touchdown in the spring game. To register, go to huskers.com/road race. Sponsored by the Home Agency with support from the Lincoln Track Club. More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
For a delicious dinner on the go that will please the whole family, get Hai Chai at Hy-Vee. Right now, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22 during the month of June. Get 4 one-pint entrees, 2 pints of rice or lo mein, and 8 egg rolls or crab rangoon. That's right, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22, now through the end of June. Dine in or carry out the crowd-pleasing, award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese today. Some restrictions may apply.
Mertz lifts the leg, back to throw, has some time, rolling out, steps, throws downfield. The pass is going to be intercepted. Malcolm Hartzog at the 45 to midfield.
Hey, Husker fans, tune in Friday for an encore presentation of Sports Nightly. In the 6 o'clock hour, we'll listen back to interviews with Fred Hoiberg, Kenzie Davis, and more. In the 7 o'clock hour, we'll take you back to conversations with Jazz Shelley and Amon Green. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Folks, you got a chance to be a part of the 100th anniversary Memorial Stadium by purchasing a Through These Gates mini plan. It's a 3-game ticket package. It's on sale now for $100. You can get a ticket to both of the non-conference home games, Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech, and then you pick one of the 5 conference matchups. You can pick between Michigan, Northwestern, Purdue, Maryland, and Iowa. They locate these seats in the north and south end zones. Again, $100, so $33 and whatever, 33 cents per game. That's a pretty good little rate to see 3 Husker football games and the flexibility that it gives you to pick that third game, whatever might fit into your personal schedule. Huskers.com/tickets if you want to do it online. You can call the ticket office during normal business hours, or you can stop by the ticket office also during normal business hours. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, back just another minute or so left in the program tonight. Tomorrow night on the program, we'll update you on those Big Ten football schedules, which are going to drop tomorrow. Those will be the 2024-2025. What's it going to look like? Are the Huskers going to keep kind of a rivalry game? Will they keep the Iowa game on a yearly basis? Do the Huskers get the 2 Southern California schools on the schedules? What's that all going to look like? I cannot wait to see that drop tomorrow. That's only 15 months away before those 2 schools join the Big Ten Conference, so that'll be a big day tomorrow. Also, Josiah Alec, who's the newest, one of the new additions to Fred Hoiberg's team. Jessica's going to catch up with Josiah. His younger sister, Becca, is on that Husker volleyball team that's down in Brazil. And we hope to maybe even hear from Trev Alberts tomorrow night, get his thoughts about the schedule that comes out tomorrow as well. You know, for the 1st of June and only track and field going on, we're keeping pretty busy.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of news happening, a lot of newcomers on campus. We're able to talk to the football guys through the media day. And so, yeah, we're able to get a lot of great content that we're scheduling for people to listen to.
And we're monitoring track. Darius Luff did qualify. He got through the prelims in good shape, didn't fall. That's always a concern with hurdlers.
I think Till's in 3rd or 4th right now after the shot put.
Okay, so they're probably about to wrap day 1 of the decathlon.
There's one more event tonight, and then the other 5 are tomorrow.
Very good. Hey, our Sports Sunday hotline brought to you by Woodhouse. You know where it is, woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands, a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for. Thanks to Cole for steering the ship. Back with you tomorrow.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Step up to the plate and hit a home run with your next vehicle at Woodhouse. We've got all the bases covered, from our family-friendly SUVs to our durable trucks to haul your gear. Plus, our team will treat you like an MVP and help find the vehicle that's right for you. Visit one of our 20 locations to score big on your next purchase. Or shop our selection of new and pre-owned vehicles online at woodhouse.com today.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm sports media student Connor Clark with Campus News. Engineering professor Ronald Faller has been named a Fellow of the National Academy of Inventors, the highest professional honor among academic inventors. As director of UNL's Midwest Roadside Safety Facility, Faller has played a key role in developing innovative roadside safety technologies that are used around the world.